Hi everybody, I'm back with more Iron Hands, Iron Hands, both. Any crap. Back with more Iron Hands. Some time ago I made a video about the Iron Hands I made, which were some Cataphractii Terminators and a big Redemptor Dreadnought and a Lord Executioner with some mechanical wings, which were pretty cool. And I made a follow-up of that project, which is what you see here. So I was asked to make more Iron Hands, and I was all too happy to oblige. The question was, can I make 3 Dreadnoughts, a Captain Dreadnought, a Librarian Dreadnought, and a Chaplain Dreadnought, and 4 techmarines of the Iron Hands chapter. And while I was working on it, I was also asked to paint one of them in the colors of Stronos, I think he's called, like the big guy of the Iron Hands. And the other thing that happened during painting was that I turned this one into a Grey Knight Dreadnought. So not just a Librarian Dreadnought, but a Grey Knight, which is still kind of attached to a Iron Hands company. So that's why he has a Iron Hands logo. The first thing I wanted to do is make the Dreadnought bigger, because the other Dreadnought that I built was the huge Redemptor Dreadnought. But I want to make him bigger because this is like the standard firstborn Dreadnought, I think they're called now. This is some real. I really like the look of this Dreadnought, the boxy shape, lots of sharp angles, hard angles, and yeah, overall very nice. But those legs are way too stubby, and I don't like them too much. They don't have knees. Well, actually they do. If you look at how it's supposed to be built, the knee joint is below the waist joint. But you can't see them. And as much as I love this design, yeah, I don't know. Those legs are simply a bit too stubby. So I did a couple of things. First thing is I made this one, and the legs I used here is quite simple leg swap with the legs of a Warhound Titan from Adeptus Titanicus, which fit very well. I mean, the size is pretty great. You add quite a bit of height to the Dreadnought, as you can see. What I did do is I switched out the plates, so I didn't use the Warhound plates, and I also didn't use the Warhound feet, because then it would look, well, too close to a Warhound Adeptus Titanicus Mini, which wouldn't suit. So I swapped out a lot of plates. These are from the Furioso Dreadnought, I think, and these are just simply Dreadnought feet. I found 2 plates in my bits box from the Adeptus Titanicus Reaver Titan. So these are actually the shoulder plates of the Reaver, and they fitted quite well on the front of it. So I added those, and these are the top plates of the original Redemptor Dreadnought. So below that, I don't know if you can actually still see, but below it there's actually still the regular hull of the Dreadnought. I just pasted it on top, which was a nice way of going about. Made it quite easy. And yeah, so this was going to be a Chaplain Dreadnought. So I thought, okay, Chaplain means lots of skulls and lots of scrolls, or text at least. So I took the skull faced front plate from the Furioso Dreadnought, used that one, and I added the big Adeptus Mechanicus symbol on the front, or the Omnissiah symbol on the front, just to make him more Chaplain-like. And I gave him a big fox grill so he can shout some angry stuff at enemies over the battlefield. And of course, lots of text. So I added some text. I gave him a plasma cannon on top, just because it looks cool, and I added more scrolls as well. And he needed some nice close combat weaponry, so I gave him the chainsaw from the Ironclad Dreadnought, which is a pretty great kit, by the way. Lots of cool bits, and a big claw. with the flamer from the penitent engine of the Adeptus Sororitas. And wings, of course, because chaplains also need wings and skulls, and an iron halo on top. Yeah, so I was quite pleased. This was actually a bit of a quite simple conversion. Now the other one that I made was the Captain Dreadnought, which is this one. And how I made this, I actually made a video of that. So you can follow the whole building process of the entire Dreadnought. So I won't bore you too much with that. So it's the same legs, but then higher and with added more plates. So just more plate material to make them look more, well, it looks a bit knightly, I would say. And yeah, the sarcophagus is actually simply just built as it's supposed to be built. So this is the ironclad front. Not much different there. I did tilt the arms a bit outward to make him look a bit more menacing, which is also a bit lacking on the regular Dreadnought, I would say. And this flag is actually also from the ironclad kit, which is really cool. And it reminded me a lot of the classic Blood Angels Dreadnought drawing with the big multi-melta. So that was a cool bonus to boot. Big plate from the Warlord Titan of Adeptus Titanicus, and this is a shoulder plate from the Ambot, Necromunda Ambot. And this gun is an Armiger, the Armiger Melta, and big antenna. I think this is the front of a land speeder. And this drill is from the ironclad kit as well. So yeah, again, a little bit of a size comparison. He gained quite the height. That doesn't work with perspective, of course. So I think he's like half as high as the original one, and then he also still has the flag on top of it, so it makes him huge. I could stack him twice on top of each other and still fit him in properly. That's cool. So and some dead bodies on the base, of course. Yeah, and then the final Dreadnought. Yeah, this was a lot of fun, this build. So for this one I really didn't go for anything of the original Dreadnought, except for the yeah, what is it, power spear or something from the Librarian Dreadnought, from the Blood Angels, because the request was a Librarian Dreadnought, and I thought, okay, Librarian Dreadnought should have like a the psychic hood as well, and a power, a force weapon, and I thought it would be cool to make him look a bit more knightly too. So what I did is I took the Acastus Knight kit from Adeptus Titanicus again. So there's a lot of Adeptus Titanicus in these models, and I used the whole of that one and the bottom part of the legs and the waist. So I cut everything apart, separated the bottom half of the legs from the upper half and from the waist, and I reversed the hull. So this is actually the back side of the hull. Usually the engine is in here. So these are the smokestacks of the original one as well. Usually the engine is here, but I used a Venerable Dreadnought sarcophagus instead. I put it in there, so it's rotated 180 degrees, and so the legs are actually original up to there, and then the top part of the legs is the arm of the penitent engine again, but then bulked up with more plastic rod to make it wider, because the arm is quite thin actually, so I needed more volume to it. And then lots and lots of cabling, of course, because that's what I do. And while I was building it, I thought I want to add a lot of smokestacks. But then I thought, yeah, if it's a librarian, I can make some kind of lightning device here, right? So in my mind, there's lots of lightning bolts going around from here, and you can see into the machine a bit as well. Yeah, and then the rest of it is mainly random bits that I had still. So this is the flamer from a war hound titan again, the shoulder pad from an armiger, the tilt shield from a warlord. This is actually the the knee pad from a space marine from the Indomitus box. And then they asked me, that looks a lot like a Grey Knight actually. Could you paint it in the color scheme of a Grey Knight? Which I thought was a very good idea. Also because I don't like painting the same colors all the time. I mean, these two Dreadnoughts took quite a bit of time to paint. And it was quite a relief to have this in a different color scheme so that I could just have a bit of a break. So I gave him the standard crystal sword and blue eyes of the Grey Knights, and the red and white scheme that the Grey Knights also have. And for the rest it's all metal and gold, and one black shoulder to show that he's still part of the Iron Hands crew. The Knight Acastus kit is very cool. These plates are beautiful, and like all the Adeptus Titanicus kits are very, very detailed, and there's a lot of stuff that you can play around with. So I'm definitely returning to those kits in future builds. Yeah, and then we have a lot of techmarines, 4 of them actually. This is supposed to be Mr. Stronos. I don't think that there's actually a very clear image of what he's supposed to look like. So this I picked one of the techmarines that I made and painted him in the roughly the colors of Stronos, which are mainly silver and gold with a bit of black. So that's what I did. There's the Iron Hands half face from the upgrade kit. The acts of a tech priest agency here, and the body is front of the body is from the from Fyros, what is he called, like the plastic tech marine from for the Iron Hands. So that's the front of his body only, but the back is actually a Terminator body, Cataphractii again. And the shoulders are layers of shoulders, so I added normal shoulder pads, and over that this is the knight, the shoulder pad of a knight from Adeptus Titanicus, and this is the front plate of a the tracked robots, Cataphractii destroyers. That's the word. And I used the arms of Fyros as well. Yeah, so that was a fun little build. And then here is the other big guy. So this is actually the body of Fyros. A bit hard to recognize maybe, but the chest piece is a Cataphractii destroyer again, which fitted quite well. And I gave him the what's it called, tabard? I don't know. From the Terminators, Cataphractii Terminators as well. So he has a big axe, big gun, more big guns, flamer, and of course lots of cables. I really like the bulk of these two guys. I intended to make them massive and big, which I think succeeded quite well. So that's cool. And these are both like artificer armor styles. I don't know if it's actually a real, I mean, you could call this Terminator armor maybe, or this Gravis armor. And then we have 2 regular Primaris Terminators. No, sorry, techmarines. Again. And then we have 2 regular techmarines with hammers. What can I say about these? This guy, this is the skull. I think it's a navigator skull, or at least a psyker skull from the Black Templars kit. So it's actually from the upgrade sprue. And I thought it would be cool to make him use it as a scanner. So he's actually scanning, I don't know for what. For heresy probably, but anyway, he's scanning something. And he also has a tilt shield on a wire, because if you have a tilt shield you can also have a tilt shield on a cable, because you're a tech marine, right? Can't go to the battlefield out of style. Lots of cables, and the chest armor is actually, it's better to see here, but it's from the Custodes, Adeptus Custodes. And I filed off the front icon, so it's a flat chest, and then I just put it on top of regular legs from Primaris. Yeah, I really like this color scheme of black and white with the green eyes. They really pop. It seems to be the standard Iron Hands scheme, and I added the yellow as a contrasting color. So this whole team has the yellow as the spot color, but the green is also a bit of a spot color, so I guess it has two. And then this guy is pointing a hammer towards some foe he is going to smite very soon. He has a flamer and a claw and a smaller claw, and a power fist, which is again from the Adeptus Titanicus Knight kit. And this leg is it's a metal part. It's from Vanguard Miniatures. Vanguard Miniatures sells some 6mm figures for so these are Skitarii stand-in proxies, probably. I don't know what to call it, but they have some very nice mechanical parts, so I used it as a leg, and I added a skull, of course, on top of it. And then again, lots of cables just to finish it off. That's it. So there you have it, more Iron Hands. I hope to return to the Iron Hands in the future again, because I really like the combination of bionics that you can use for Iron Hands. It's a very you can use lots of stuff to make some interesting miniatures, and the Iron Hands allows for it quite easily, so that's cool. I mean, the flesh is weak, right? So there we go. And final thing I can do is I can, with the Dreadnoughts, I can put a regular, or my regular Dreadnought in between, so that you can see a bit of the size. So yeah, they're quite a bit bigger. I think the upgraded Dreadnoughts work quite well. As I said, I love the shape of the hull and the body of the original Dreadnought. I just don't like the legs too much. So these are some pretty. This is a pretty easy way to improve the legs. This is a pretty complicated way to improve the legs, but they both look fine. I mean, this is for leg style is a bit closer to the original, I guess, and this makes it quite menacing, because it's like stalking towards you with some nice dangerous weapons. Yeah, all right, that's it. So let me put these all together again. That's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.